Is the fully colour coordinated Danny Hans. A smart looking car, the Dominator. You can see those treaded Hoosier tyres that all of these cars run on. So as I was explaining earlier on, lap records not really being broken these days because the Hoosier tyres not providing quite as much pace as the Dunlops that they used a few years ago.
As everyone's on the same tyre, doesn't really matter, does it? We have to get some good racing. Hopefully the next 15 minutes can provide that.
Should do. Revs rising. Lights out. Away they go then. And a good start by both of the front row drivers. A more reasonable start by Danny Hans this time, but he's not in the lead. It's Ian Buxton from the outside of the front row that's got into the lead. It looks like Andrew Cooper was challenging Danny Hans for second place there. In the end, he's got into third position with Steve-O in fourth spot. But certainly a better start this time from Danny Hans. Now, the thing we're going to have to watch out for is where is James Harridge in all of this? Let's see if we can spot him. There he is, the race one winner. He's just getting past Bill Garner there, the number 10 car, so he's not messing about.
8th, I reckon, Ian, which is best part of 10 cars in 2 corners. So I'd say that's a good start by James. And he knows he needs to catch Danny Hans before he can break the turn. With Ian Buxton up front, that could be more possible. And here comes Andrew Cooper challenging Hans now. Cooper around the outside, that's not quite going to work. Then you've got O and Studer behind as they turn into Nelson. And here comes James Harridge. He's now past the Christian Goller car. And he's after the Boris Costa, I think, was the next one. So great opening lap here for James Harridge.
Absolutely right, so he is doing his very best to get involved with the battle. There is the number 42 car, which is James Huckle in the show. With another one, you can see the championship driver from Hartford. Okay, through the left-hander at Morris onto the centre straight to complete lap number 1. There's Pete Bells through slowly but surely from the back of the grid, but it's Buxton leading. Hans in second, Andrew Cooper number 41 in third place, in fourth place number 50 Steve-O, fifth and sixth is changing round because James Harridge number 77 goes around the outside there of Peter Studer there to get fifth place away.
It's been impressive, hasn't it? This storming start of the race for James Harridge, absolutely brilliant from him to pass 17th to 5th as Hans slows his gears again in the AHS. Is he going to pick up some speed? He's not really, is he? So no. Danny Hans dropping away then. James Harridge, that will put him, 4th? So 17th to 4th, 13 places gained in 1.5 laps.
I reckon he's third.
Yes, he is, isn't he? So that's got Steve-O now as well.
Yeah. So Steve-O has been passed. He's got Andrew Cooper and Ian Buxton ahead of him, 2 GAC drivers there, ahead of the Maverick driver. Is Hans getting back up to speed, possibly? We'll see what he can do. But I think his chances of victory have gone, but we'll see what he can come back with, if anything.
Just going through shot there, Colin Gregory, he's made good progress too. He's really qualified further down than he would have liked, 23rd, while he was up to 13th on the opening lap, so he gained 10 places. Ian Buxton's about to be caught by James Harridge. Absolutely remarkable first, 4 miles to this race. Yeah. For James Harridge to be up to second. The next 2 miles might see him take the lead. I think
they mightn't they? Because he's less than a second behind Ian Buxton. Third is Andrew Cooper. Fourth is Peter Studer, now ahead of number 50 Steve-O. So that's changed into Richard's corner. Christian Goller is 6th. No, West Gloucester is 6th, Christian Goller is 7th, I think. But look, here's Harwich with that pointy-nosed Maverick, gaining all the time on Ian Buxton in the gap, the driver from Staffordshire. They make their way down the Bentley Straight. He's going to get him before they get to Brundle, isn't he? Certainly is. He's going to pull out to the right-hand side of the circuit. Harwich and Buxton will be side by side then. Buxton, not an easy man to get past. He's usually got quite wide elbows. But on this occasion, I think Harwich is going to sweep through, or is he? They're still alongside. Well, Buxton's not made it easy for him, and Buxton is still ahead. So that's good driving. Look, it's brought Andrew Cooper into it as well.
Christian Goller's arrived backwards, so he's had a moment he's stalled, I think. So can Goller get it fired back up? Because otherwise he's in an awkward place. Yet there he goes. So not sure what happened there. Here comes Howard round the outside at Coram, and again Ian Buxton knows where to put his car, which is sideways from Murray's. Now, is that going to lose him momentum? Too bad. But Harwich is going to have a good run now down the centre straight. And he's alongside, and he's not quite nosing ahead across the line. Inside line for Buxton, outside line for Harwich, who's got lots more pace in that car. But Ian Buxton's good at defending. He suggested that would be the case, Ian, and he's putting up a robust defence to try and win this.
Yeah, he's got to do it for another 11 minutes yet, though, to try and keep him at bay. Harwich looking on the inside line at Wilson, but again, that's been covered by Ian Buxton. And as I say, they are slowing each other up a little bit here, because Andrew Cooper, number 41, is there in third place. He's having a really good run, probably one of his best runs so far in the Heritage Park Centre Formula V Championship. Here comes Harwich again, this time on the inside line.
He jinked out the toe there, got as close to the back of Ian Buxton's car as possible, then jinked out of the toe. And he's on the inside. No, he's not. Buxton's got back in front. Perhaps that jink out of the toe cost him momentum. And Ian Buxton's held on. Just a note, Colin Gregory up to 7th. So a good drive from him. And Pete Belsey to 9th. And I think we may have lost Danny Hands this time. He came in through at the end of the last lap, but not this time through. Here comes Harwich. And he tried the outside line at Coram last time. Let's see if he tries a similar move on this particular lap. Not really. Buxton holding on, as you say. Andrew Cooper right with them too.
Yeah, he's there in third, Peter Studer 4th, and Steve Owen and Maurice Foster 5th and 6th. Howard of Murray's along the centre straight, coming through to complete what will be lap number 4 now, I think, won't it? In this race. Race 10 on the programme, the Heritage Park Centre Formula V Championship. The leading group have gone through. Here's Harwich to the outside at Ritchie's. Can he go all the way around the outside? His car's a bit sideways, but he's done it. A great move there from James Harwich to get the lead.
Great stuff from Harwich. Now, can he pull away through Wilson and now Wilson and Chapman? Cooper's locked up there. He's understeered off the road. And he's got to find the right gear and he can rejoin, but that would drop him to the back of the leading 6. Is it a car problem that's caused that? Yes, it may be. So Cooper, real shame for him. He looked to get his maiden podium in the championship, but he's dropping out of the race. Now, what I was wondering, if Buxton can fight back, and he can. This is what he did to Hans in race 1 and got back through, but he can't get past Harwich. And now, with some quick corners coming up where Harwich has got lots of pace, this is where he needs to try and break the toe in and immediately getting away, pulling some car lengths out to him.
Yeah, so we've got 5 in the sort of leading group now. So it's Harwich, Buxton, Studer, Owen, Gloucester. Gap back to Colin Gregory, who's up 16 places from his starting position. Peter Belsey is up to 8th now. That will be from 29, so he's up 21 places, I think, from his grid position. So good improvements there, a bit further down the order.
Toe, no doubt, hasn't he? Just in that half a lap of pushing. It's a huge gap. Absolutely incredible. We have a drive of the weekend award, don't we?
We do, yes. Which is awarded, in fact, courtesy of Talk Raceway, to the driver that has produced the most excellent performance across the whole weekend. So this is a contender, certainly, but we're only not even halfway through yet. So we'll wait and see who might receive that.
Peter Studer now up with Ian Buxton. We don't say, as you said earlier, don't see Peter Studer on a particularly regular basis. I think he's a local driver here to Snetterton and going really well in the A8, in the TDS Challenger, a much older car than some of those around him, but a great drive this has been from Studer, and he's looking to the outside here of Ian Buxton, and he swoops through and goes past. So Peter Studer up to 2nd now, and I'm sure he'll be really pleased with this.
Yeah, we've seen him up towards the sharp end of races before, but as I say, we don't see him like that. Good to see him here Snet this weekend. And he's taking the fight to him, Buxton, as you can see. We're ahead of him now into second place. As Harridge has just continued to extend this lead on this lap, hasn't he? He's reeling out the lap time. What lap time did he do in the earlier race? It was a 1:23.66. What's he done in this race? He's done a 1:24.13 so far. He may yet improve on that.
Ian Buxton trying to get back past Peter Studer, and he's done it. So back into second place, and a strong engine in Buxton's car, helping him there back ahead of Studer, as well as the tow, of course. But can Studer come back? He can. He's on the inside here, into the Wilson hairpin, and he outbrakes Buxton, gets it turned in, get the car sort of slid into Wilson, and he's back into second, but it may not last long. Buxton might be able to re-challenge when they get to the bridge.
Yep, may well be able to. He'll be in the tow, won't he? Down they go towards Brundle and Nelson. So Harridge leading as he did in race 1, and Buxton back ahead of Studer there, but Studer fighting back. Gloucester now ahead of Steve Owen in 4th place, so he's made it through at the beginning of this, the 7th lap of the race. Earlier on we had an 11 lap race, so probably 4 more laps to go at the end of this one, I would suggest.
James Harridge led by 3 seconds at the end of the previous lap. There's smoke coming from the back of his car, though. This is what we saw with Tim Probert in the earlier race, and it's getting worse in, and he's pulling over. Well, he had a good look in his mirror at least, didn't he, to see what's going on, but this is not ideal for the race leader.
He didn't elect to pull into the pit lane that time. We might just see how long he can go. But it could be something that's causing more damage, of course, and it could be putting something down on the circuit and following drivers as well. So it's Harridge leading for the moment from Buxton second, 55 Peter Studer in third. Oh, and Peter Bells' smoking away now, so all of a sudden a couple of cars afflicted.
Again, he's continuing to stay out on the circuit.
He was in 8th place.
Marshall's already waving to him, and I think he's got the message there. He needs to slow down and stop, and he's pulled off in the former championship winning car, driven by Jez Clark, who lives just a mile down the road.
Yeah, he's gone on to race in road sports.
Winner last weekend at Brands Hatch in his Lotus. Harridge again having a good look in his mirror. And the back behind could become the back of the leader. Now side by side, Buxton and Studer. Oh, the damage there. That's 43. That's Vaughan Jones in his Storm, running in the top 10, but he's had a bit of an incident. And there is his nose.
Well, he knows where it is. At least he can just stop and pick it up on the slowing down lap, can't he?
We know where it is.
We might have spotted it. If he knows where he lost it.
Oh, you think so?
Now, is Harridge going to pit this?
He's pulling away, isn't he?
He is, and he's riding the curbs in a way that suggests he's going to continue. And he is going to continue. I suspect, knowing James, he will want to continue for as long as he possibly can, and hopefully it will be long enough.
Marshall's had a good look at that. The start line marshals here at Snetterton. The battle behind continues. Ian Buxton and Peter Studer. There's yellow flags down the straight, but that should go green into Richie's. There's another car that's had an issue. That's Richard Rainbow in his AHS Challenger. Now he's stopped on the circuit just out of Chapman Curve, which is not an ideal place to have stopped, and he doesn't look like he's going anywhere anytime soon.
Not necessarily the worst news for James Harridge. He said, sort of racing ahead of himself. So yellow flags in the background, that is for the Richard Rainbow car. And there's James Harridge coming towards us now, getting into some of the traffic. You can see the 47 car, Matt Topham. I'm sure Topham, he retired from racing a few months ago.
Slow in.
He is. He's a long way behind Buxton now, but he's still ahead of Gloucester.
For long.
Yeah, not for long. So Gloucester swoops ahead, and the red flags come out.
So that's a save for Peter Studer. I suspect we did have a car problem. That's our first drama in a race, isn't it?
It is. We've got a safety car or a red flag until race 10, which is not a bad result. And as I say, not the worst news for James Harridge, who might have been struggling with his car. We've gone 11 and a half minutes, so we won't get a restart, I don't think, for that race. So I think the win will go to James Harridge. Second will go to Buxton, I think.
Yeah, on the count back, because they've been sort of trading positions.
Yeah.
He and Maurice Gloucester would be disappointed, wouldn't he? Because he was on for a podium there, which would be his first podium.
I think
in the
it
category.
would have been. Yeah, I don't think he's had a top 3 before. Had a second place in the 2019 V Festival, but I think in a championship round that would have been his best. So it looks like the cars are all being sort of signalled to go back round and head into the pit lane. So a premature end, unfortunately, to the Heritage Park Centre Formula V Championship Race Round 2. It is a championship that will continue anon. The next round is at Brands Hatch in 4 weeks' time. Then it's Anglesey, Alton Park and Donington Park to round out the Formula V season. But it's been a pretty good start to it for James Harridge. 2 wins from 2 here at Snetterton today in the Maverick, and I think he'll be very pleased with that, although by the looks of it, not quite as pleased as he was with the first race.
No, I guess there's a little bit of concern what the problem with the engine is. 4 weeks to sort it out for Brands Hatch, I guess. He'll be leading the championship and our first double winner of the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Had 3 championships raced twice, and it's taken until championship number 4 for a double winner, which sometimes you look at in autosport, for example, where they put your race winners and the same person wins both races all day long, which isn't so much fun. But so far up to this point, we've had different winners, which is good to see. Good competitive championships in the 750 Motor Club help, of course, that to happen.
Yeah, lots of comments coming in on social media as well. Dave Vass, let's say hello to Dave Vass, often lap charting with us here in the commentary box. Sadly not with us this weekend. Obviously he wouldn't have been able to anyway with the virus, but he's also had some pretty serious problems with his eyes, which hopefully he will be able to get sorted out. But all the best to Dave if you're watching. Pip Hammond's watching as well, I can tell. But yeah, wherever you are, thank you for watching on the live stream, and thank you all for being here at Snetterton as well. If you're visiting the circuit today, lots more racing to come tomorrow. Another 13 races for you tomorrow, and still 2 more to come before the end of today. We've got the Toyo Tyres Toyota MR2 Championship, that will be coming up next, and then the K-Tech Racing Clio 182 Championship will round out the day in a little while. So that's what we've got coming up.
They shouldn't disappoint, should they, going off the earlier encounters? No,
shouldn't be bad races at all. So I think we've got cars coming down the pit lane possibly now. It's quite difficult to tell from where we are because we can't see it on the screen. But hopefully James Harridge will be able to make his way down to Anthony Jordan for a word.
What we can see is what Marshall's checking to see if any fluid has been left on the circuit. Hopefully not, otherwise that would be a slight pause. Hopefully it's just that car to pick up. There's a nice 911 up there at Coram, parked up at the inside of the circuit.
Yep.
Good to see. So a number of Alfa Romeos in the car parks too, supporting the Alfa Romeo Championships debut with the 750 Motor Club.
That's always good to see, isn't it, when you've got people coming along to support the marque that's racing on the weekend. We like that. Right, there's some sign language going on between the marshals and Anthony Jordan I can see across the way there. I don't understand what any of it means is the only problem, but hopefully it means that they're going to get James Harridge to talk to before much longer. It'll be interesting to find out what was wrong with his car.
Has his car made it back?
Well, that's the question. That is the question, because I suspect it may not have done. So
we've got the rescue vehicle just in front of us to pick up Peter Studer's car.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a few moments. Right, there is a driver, and it looks, I think, like James Harridge. So let's go over to Anthony Jordan once again.
So we've got James. He's just talking to the marshal at the moment. We'll try and get his attention. James, a quick word, preferably away from the smouldering engine that you've got there.
Only a few litres of oil. Yeah.
I mean, wow.
Bit lucky there with the red flag. I thought I was going to get a mechanical and I didn't. Very, very lucky. Nothing's wrong with it. It's just got a leak. I know exactly what's wrong. It's easy to fix. But yeah, just got a bit lucky because they don't like the oil and the smoke. It's all still in there, but it's just the smoke. They see it and they worry, so that's fair enough. But yeah, no mechanical flags were shown, so it won't be a problem. So yeah, very lucky there. but coming from 17th on the grid, yeah, happy with that. I mean, didn't expect that. I was happy to get top 5 for that second race, but yeah, it's just very, very lucky. So yeah, thank you. So.
Yeah, no, so we were watching it drive past. We could see the smoke billowing out of it. We had the marshals coming over going, he's seconds away from getting the meatball flag.
Very, very, very lucky and fortunate with that respect. But yeah, it's about time I had a bit of luck. I mean, I've had torrid luck for years now, and we've been quick up the front, but just never had that last little bit there, you know. So we've managed to get the power now for the first time in 4 or 5 years. Forget how many years it is now. But yeah, we can finally put together something that hopefully we can carry on all year. And what's it, Brands next? So yeah, so that should suit us as well. So looking forward to it. So.
Excellent. Well, a double win for today.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Well
Couldn't
done.
be any happier. So thank you very much.
Excellent. Well done.
Thanks. See ya.